Greetings everyone, my name is Ederville, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Man Maker. On this morning live stream, as usual, I'll be covering a combination of both Veersmith levels and other levels I found online, primarily focusing on the former. It's nice to see you all again. I'll be covering levels for about 2-ish hours and then showcase some art on the Discord server. Welcome to the stream Jedok, Pixel Boy, Raccoon, Jaden, Paul, and Dr. J Butters, and Vinny, as well as all the lurkers, and anyone else we missed. Hey Sunflower. Thank you Vinny, it's been added. Fair enough. Oh yeah, also for an update on the schedule, tonight will be the continuation of Twilight Monk. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do the backtracking off stream, so I'll do it on stream. I know where the last major thing is. And it should go fairly quickly now that I've scouted out some things. And then tomorrow morning will be the web games stream. As you may have noticed on the Discord server, I decided to make an execute decision and run a poll for the second and third place ones, because otherwise we would have a 9-way tie, and I feel just using a spinner to choose between 9 is not as fun as giving more determination. So if you're on the Discord server, make sure to go to the Game Suggestions sub-channel and vote for your favorite one. Hey Omega Light, thank you for adding your recommendation or suggestion for your level. I'll get around to it. Alright, first on the lineup, as we're going here, first on today's lineup is Mega Man Prison, Molten Man, Volcanic Island by Gumi 1999, 23 plays and a score of 6. I think I did this one before. I forget, I know I did one level by them in the past, but I forget which specific one it was. And yes, I'm aware of the latest updates. The new rails look cool. Unfortunately, Jaden, as you know, most people here aren't for the indie games. They're here for Mega Man Maker and only Mega Man Maker. I know, running gag and all that. Unfortunate, but at least people watch the pre-recorded sessions. Like, even if most people who watch the videos on Twilight Monk and indie games, they watch it in post, they don't attend the streams, which, fair enough. I would do more indie streams in the morning, but well, more people on Mega Man, so, and that's the focus on the channel, so that'll prioritize. And for that one, and for when Salty made the joke about Twilight Princess, ooh, just one of the Phoenix birdies. Usually we find both of them at the same time. And as for when Salty made a joke about the Twilight Princess, I'm gonna cover it after I beat Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Okay, maybe I can skip on Majora, but I really want to do that. But Ocarina, yeah. I never really... I only sampled Ocarina of Time many years ago. I never actually... well, beat the game. And that's a seminal game in the gaming landscape for action-adventure titles. And that's fair, J Butters. Whoa. Ooh. Okay, that's a nice attention to detail, Loyal Gumi. The grass is gray because it's stained by the ash, and the light, and that's all the volcanic ash falling in the background. Nice attention to detail. Most other cities would just leave the grass green, but here you actually made it gray. Oh, Indie Cross, the animated series? I haven't watched it yet, but it's on my watch later list. I'm liking the stage a lot more than the previous one. Like, I know it could be done. I know the gimmicks could be done a little bit better, but it's a lot more fun to go through some of these challenges, platforming-wise. Oh hey Kuimaka, it's been a while. How's it been going in your neck of the woods? Oh, Indie Cross is an animated crossover series. It looks pretty cool. And thanks for showing up. Goodbye. Oh, let's see. Which Castlevania games have I officially played? Let's see. On the channel, I officially played, let's see. Alright, bring up the chart. Alright. On the channel, I officially played Castlevania Bloodlines, and I have a cancelled Let's Play of, Dracula X Chronicles for the SNES. As for the Castlevania games I played on my own time, oh yeah, I also streamed Castlevania 3 in 1. The first Castlevania and Castlevania 3. Now, on my own time, let's see. I played and beat Castlevania 1, 2, 3, Super Castlevania, Dracula X, Bloodlines, as for ones I've sampled but not beat, let's see, Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow, I'm fumbling this battle. Let's focus now. And that's about it for Castlevania. Oh, Dracula X. My apologies. Dracula X Chronicles is an actual fun one. Or the better remake, I mean. Alright, and Lament of Innocence. I shouldn't neglect the 3D Castlevanias. But yeah, that's the only 3D Castlevania game I've played. Not having access to Char Shot makes this way harder. That's fair. Parenting is like a full-time job. Especially if you want to do it well. Alright, I've noted it down for later, Monica. Thank you for including it. Oh, that's entirely fair. The 3D Castlevania game I really want to play is Lament's, well, not sequel really, but the other 3D Castlevania. The one before the reboot, at least. Trying to see what the name is. Curse of Darkness, that's one. That's the other 3D one I really want to play. As that goes back to being like a Metroidvania. Well, I said goes back, but I know. Like, I know there's a whole reboot series of games. I'll think about that. Lords of Shadow's neat, but I don't know. As for the stage itself, I think that's why you did a better job compared to the previous one. Even though I tweak up how the mechanics and gimmicks are used, you have a neat attention to detail, and the overall flow and challenges vibe with me fairly well. But yeah, Castlevania is in that state where I actually want to LP Super Castlevania 4 before I do Rondo of Blood, the OG one, because I really want to do Symphony of the Night because I haven't actually really played it, despite me loving them indie Metroidvanias and how many of them pull from Symphony of the Night or are directly inspired. Okay, second up is Rocket Base 2 by Top Vet. 17 plays and a score of 5. Let's go walk right into the laser. Good, me. I see. Interesting, I can't actually destroy the Blocky. I was blanking on her name for a moment. Okay, we also got the concrete shot. Okay, it's another special one gimmick stage. Cool. Ooh, Messin actually emulates that? Thank you. I was thinking of using BizHawk, but I'll look into that. Hey, Sylv. Ooh, a time limit. You have to be quick here. Let's look at this. I mean, earlier this year I did a DS game, my first DS game on the channel. Oh, let's try this again. Might as well do TurboGrafx 16.1 in the future. Yeah, the tiling is very simplistic, but I feel like it's because the author wanted to focus more on the level design itself. Oh, it's a dodge 'em up. I thought I had to move it down somehow, but that's not quite it. Oh my gosh. Little Fireman's Adventure starring these things. Squiddy. Ooh, I see it. Nice, actually. That is pretty clever. I wonder how the boss fight's gonna turn out. Okay. Squish. Showing us it may be dangerous to actually break those. That's a nice way of indicating that's an instant death pit, with the skulls down there. Good. And what makes it interesting is it actually builds on its mechanics, adding in new enemies and different configurations. And also building up new gimmicks too. Whoops. I should have just stayed up there. Haha, don't even need that. True. I just stand up here, I'll be fine. Can't collect the life pickup though. Nah, I'll take this over Wily's Revenge. Ooh, oh my god. Wait. Hang on. Oh, green light. Boss time. Grenade Man and Charge Man. Nice, I have to bust through their vehicle too. Oh yeah, grenade plus Sparkman. Okay, this is a much better way of having the boss fight where you actually have to get to them in the first place. Oh darn it. I was tricked. I can't take the easy route like this. That's one down. And that's two down. I catch up to the battle where you have to use everything you learned before, although I wish this boss fight was more elaborate. Not necessarily longer, but more elaborate with its puzzles. Otherwise, thumbs up, fair lovely episode. Nice work of the main special weapon mechanic. Good job. Hi Ricky. Welcome to the stream. Alright, number 3 up is Sky Cloud Island by Sunflower Zimrail. 48 plays and a score 21. It's levels like burning sticks of why I go back to play Mega Man Maker every week. Almost every week. In the grand scheme of things, it may not be that novel, but what it does is a little bit different from the usual fare. See, I want to use roll more here, but for these sorts of stages, if it's a dodge roll, that's risky. Very well. We started with a solid set of 2 levels. One was okay decent, the other one was pretty fun. Maybe not good, but close to that. One of the better weeks. Oh, sorting the queue out by genres? Wait a second. Yeah, I thought so. You can't just leave 2 balloons lying out there. Well, I thought of doing that, but then I realized, well, someone needs to actually go through the levels to make sure they fit the categories, or of course I can just trust the viewers for that. And second, that actually requires enough viewer submit levels to actually be able to do that. Well, I guess I could just, at that point I could just probably just look through the websites and what else. Alright. I mean, you can always reconsider, Jaden, if you're really concerned. I haven't started covering it yet. Like, the way it's going is probably gonna be covered next week. Because, Oh, I have Jet Adapter. Excuse me. Well, it doesn't matter if I have 2 other vertical adapters anyways. As I was saying, you still have time to pick something else. I'm not gonna start covering Pad until next week, as I think I'll be able to finish Twilight Monk tonight, or this week. I'm not sure, like, I'm gonna finish the backtracking tonight. I'm not sure how long the final area is gonna take. This is the first time in this series I've seen someone in the boss fight. What happened, Tengu Man? As I was saying, this is the first time in the series where I've seen someone include that enemy up there during a boss fight. Yeah, Telltales. Thank you. It's coming closer! An atom. Yep, coming closer. Being paranoid? Okay, left it is. Honestly, the jet adapter should have been and you didn't even need to hide the ladders. As I was saying, honestly, the jet adapter should have been one of the items you unlock through the stage, not something you start out with. It's too powerful otherwise. Excuse me? That's a lot better. Let me in. Hey, Buster. Glad you could join us. Easy cheesy. Hi guys, I'm replaying Thousand-Year-Old Door. It's a really great game, but I hate playing it. I'm sorry I'm laughing at you, Buster, but that describes... I'm sorry. I've just seen so many reviews that saying, this game is great, or thanks, I hate it, and have 5,000 hours of playtime or whatever. There are legitimate reasons for that, I just find it kind of goofy sometimes. Is it the original Thousand-Year-Old Door or is it the remake? Because I think Chapter 4, Chapter 5, it's, yeah, I know they fixed that in the remake. Yeah, then I know what it is. Wow, those are amateur hours, Sylv. Just keep the joke running. I mean, when I eventually play Thousand-Year-Old Door, I'll start with the original. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm gonna be playing the original, but with the widescreen hack enabled. Yee. Like, you know, when I did Paper Mario 64, I did apply some graphical enhancements so the picture wouldn't look so as fuzzy. Thousand-Year-Old Door, that isn't going to be as necessary, but I'll still include the widescreen. Ooh, nice transition from the cloud cover to the background. Rematch time. Stay Frost. Doesn't like to be frosty. Oh no! If I didn't hold anything, I'd survive. Excuse me. I hate KH3. I've uninstalled it 4 times. Has over 1,000 mods installed and has clocked in a total of 5.6 years worth of gameplay. Oh yeah, they also added unique battle teams. That's nice. I know that's maybe a little touch, but that helps a lot for adding character. I know I like the battle team at 1000-Year-Old Door, but more variations is nice. And hey, that helped us get Brothership afterwards. It's success. Maybe. Like, it's hard to pick whether... I like a 1000-Year-Old Door's battle team more than 64's, but I like 64's too. They're all bangers. Tell you what, Jaden, what do you have in mind? But I'm gonna have to make a restriction that it has to be released, of course. Like, I can't play an unreleased game. I don't have a time machine, nor am I influential enough to get early access builds for most titles. But, like, I'll still be happy to cover Pat, but, what are some alternatives? You were just gonna ask me for Symphony of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Indeed, Buster. We're set for that. I've got Parsec updated. We're gonna have to do some setup before the stream just to make sure things don't go wrong. I know, for example, the ping is gonna be may not be an issue. Yeah, from the way the votes are going, it's gonna be Fireboy and Water Girl, followed by Robot Wants Puppy, followed by something. Okay, off stream it is. Hey, if we have time after the stream, maybe. Like, I've used Parsec before several times. I'll just tweak the settings so that the stream quality isn't just, it's not gonna just blow through your bandwidth. Board up is... Board up is Capoeira Man Dancing Beach by Janox74. 120 plays and a score of 53. I probably horribly mispronounced the name. Yep, you need an account. Which, honestly, unfair. Jaden, what do you mean you didn't vote for any game? You already voted for someone. Like, in the first one you voted for, a Fireboy and Water Girl, and this time you voted for, Robot Wants Puppy. Like, you're the reason why Fireboy... You're the reason that Fireboy and Water Girl is actually gonna be played first. No, this level is an alternate path. If the arrows aren't doing... Well, vote for it then, Sylph. Like, you haven't voted for anyone yet. Maybe... Actually... I haven't checked the voting for a while now. Like, I only checked it before the stream. Gotcha. I mean, the last time I did was 4 years ago for various reasons, but I will be doing it more. Well, okay, we'll decide, we'll decide later if you want to just go on with Path of the Midnight Sun or Symphony of the Night. Like, Symphony is so instrumental to thousands of other games, and that's a very, very underestimate of the year thing, that I need to eventually play it, alongside Super Metro, and also eventually Super Metroid. I have played Super Metroid, but I never beat it, for various reasons why. Hey, as long as it's a web game and is beatable within 1 hour, sure. Honestly, I decided to not... I only recommended one game, and that was Busters, technically, because, well, I'm gonna be running other Flash game gauntlets in the future, and I have too many suggestions. Like, if I were to list all my Flash game suggestions, and I need to bring up the list for that, it's gonna end up being like 50. And some of those games cannot be completed within an hour. Like, I really want to cover, for example, the Elephant series of games by JMB something. The Shift series, Fancy Pants Adventures. Armed with Wings. Oh yeah, FYI, I'm not going to vote on this poll so I don't bias the results. Also, mind you, when I say I'm going to cover the 3 top titles tomorrow, I need to clarify something. That's the guarantee I'm leaving. If I have more time tomorrow, I'll cover more than 3 titles. What I'm just gonna make a promise to you all is that, assuming there's no technical errors, because, yeah, old games, I will cover the top 3 entries. Yeah, pretty much almost all of Nitrom also counts. Like, there's a few Nitrom games which I wouldn't cover, but that's more because I suck at them. Like, the one Nitrom game I don't want to cover is Hot Air. Hot Air 1 and 2. That's more because I'm bad at them, and, yeah. That's the one where you indirectly control a hot air balloon using a fan. Oh my gosh, I was never able to beat those games because of... Imagine you're playing a pixel precision platformer, but you can't directly control your character. Or not exactly. Or you can only control them by shifting the wind around. Yeah, I know that one, J Butters. I play and beat that one. Oh, Bloons TD. Depending on which game you're referring to in the Bloons TD series, and mainline or oh, you're saying TD, so depending on which game you say in the mainline tower defense series, and what you consider to be completion, it may take just a few hours to, let's say, 100 hours to beat, quote-unquote, beat. Like, early games, sure, you can do. But later games, oh my goodness, no. There's also the fact that I don't really want to cover tower defense games on this channel because, especially for most of them, there's a lot of waiting around, not as much active gameplay. There are exceptions, and I know Bloons can end up... I know there are exceptions, and Bloons TD alongside Gemcraft and Bubble Tanks TD are the exceptions, but still. Like, if I want to cover the biggest ones, it'll probably be TD5 or TD6 of Bloons. Like, the biggest games in the tower defense scene that originate from Flash or similar would be Bloons, Kingdom Rush, and Gemcraft. Hang on, hang on. That is not correct, Buster. It's free? Okay. It was first released for the mobile, yes, but then it was later released for Windows and macOS. I know the Steam one is a paid version, but then you don't have to worry about ads and various other things. Like, if you want to play the free version, you gotta play the mobile, but, you know, ads. And if I want to properly cover something like TD6, well, it has a lot of things to cover. Like, Bloons 6, TD6 takes a lot of things from various other games in the Bloons series. Alright. Alright, as for the stage, I guess it was there. Sorry, we had more of a discussion on other things other than the stage itself. I mean, if you still want me to cover Pat, I'd be happy to cover Pat. I want to say it out there. I'm not against covering a indie game that may not have that many viewers. That's sometimes the point of the birthday/guaranteed request streams. To guarantee I cover a game I wouldn't usually cover for a variety of reasons. Like normally I wouldn't cover Snatcher or Your Turn to Die. Alright, fifth up is Cobalt Coastlands by Toraza Meman. With 55 plays, with 131 plays and a score of 53. Then I'll cover it. Yes, I will cover Symphony of the Night, but here's the thing. You don't need to have a guaranteed game request for Symphony of the Night anyways. That's a game I will cover in the future. Because it's so fundamental to... I keep going back to this point because I need to... It bears repeating. It's a game that's so fundamental as an inspiration and building block to many other games I cover in the channel that I must get around to playing it. Same with Super Metroid and Hollow Knight. Shovel Knight's also another game that's heavily inspired by certain other games, but I've already covered or alluded to those certain other games on the channel anyways, so it's not as necessary. I just feel for a lot of games, if if you want to have the best, if you want to enhance your experience, it's best to have at least sampled some of his inspirations. Okay, aesthetically neat. I own After Image, by the way, through a game code, so we don't need to worry about that. True that, Buster, but it depends on the game. I just find most of the time, well, it's more of a personal thing. Your mileage will probably vary. I just find for most games it's at least better if you at least sample them or know what it's going for. Like, I can understand the scenario where the game it pulls from, where a game is inspired by other titles which end up being better than the source, where the sources end up being better than the actual game that's inspired by them. But it doesn't hurt to try. Oh my gosh, it's Darkman. Mega Man is the victor. Now it's time for him to return back to Light Labs and take a bat. Never mind. Or the source is putrid and then take the inspiration taker and see wonder. How did you fix this? Or, or, why did you use this as an inspiration? And keep in mind I'm referring to like direct inspirations. It also sort of implies to indirect inspirations, but to a lesser extent. This stage was kind of rompy, but aesthetically it was neat. Oh my gosh, J Butters. It all comes back to the Sonic franchise. No. I was hoping we'd spend at least an hour before that was mentioned. Now we're gonna have a 30-minute diatribe about it again. Okay, before I start talking about that, J Butters, let me finish this stage, and then we'll take a short pause for that. Hey, Zeros. Sixth up is Rainy Forest by Vinny Z27. With 30 plays and a score of 2, we're all Sonic heroes here. Because I do have something to say about that, but we'll get to that when we get to it. What? Oh yeah, I need that. That's actually kind of scary. Man, if I stream Sonic Heroes, it'll probably be only 2 storylines. Oh, you mean Berserk? Hang on a sec. Sonic and Chaotix, yeah. Sonic's route because that's the starter route. Chaotix because they have different objectives. Like, if it's either going to be Chaotix or Team Dark. The thing with Team Dark is their levels are basically just hard mode versions, which is fine and dandy. It's just that I want some more differences. Sorry, Metal Sonic doesn't really have a... well, unless you count the super forms. The one I'm not really interested in is Team Rose, maybe with the exception of Seagate. Because, if I play Sonic Story and beat it, why would I want to play the easy mode? Hey Coffee K! Glad you could join the stream. Berserk Boy is on my eventual to playlist. I know it takes obvious inspiration from Sonic and Mega Man. I'm not exactly sure which Mega Man game specifically. Like, based on the art style, it's ZX. On the gameplay though, it's way more Sonic side. Most pitiful roll jump. I mean, they do play an important role during the final boss fight, it's just that I don't really want to do the same thing over. I am not going to talk about Berserk Boy's level design until I actually cover the game. Like, I've heard mixed things on that front. From the demo side, it's fine, but it depends. And again, I haven't played Sonic Rush, so I am not going to comment on that game's level design. But I will be streaming it in the future later because I know you want that. You have requested that, J Butters. And yes, I'll be playing both Sonic and Blaze's stories as well as the final story. On the front of ZX, I need to clarify something as someone may ask me about this. No, I haven't actually played ZX, but I did watch a full 100% playthrough of it by Clement J years back. And I haven't even watched really ZX Advent. Like, I know some of the bosses and how the story begins and ends, but I haven't really played it or watched it. But I will cover ZX Advent and ZX Prologue on the channel in the future. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, big Mega Marathon coming X years in the future, sometime in 20XX. Oh my gosh. This is oh boy, this is a bit of a problem. I didn't say equally questionable, well, I didn't say equally questionable. I was just saying from some of the I've heard from people saying, like, people overall say the game is fun. It's just the level design may or may not be good. I mean, sure, I'll see if I can do the ZX trick. Yeah, other problem is Roll's roll has a little bit of a different timing. I mean... there's no reward for beating it other than the sense of satisfaction. I'll take a look. If I like Sonic's story enough, I'll do Blaze's. Or other way around, actually. Actually, I should do a poll for that. Whose storyline should I play first in Sonic Rush? I'll run a poll for that. Of course, I'll look into whether I'll maybe... Seriously, can you please tone down these jumps? Like, I think this is a little bit too tight. H. H. No, she's not. Like, because of her Burning Blaze move, because of one of her moves, she can more easily, she has an easier way of getting vertical height. Oh my gosh. I think you may want to make some of these sections a bit easier or less tight. Or add a few more checkpoints, please. This instant death is getting a little bit on my worrisome side. Yeah, she's got the same boost system, or as was known back then, the tension system, but her moveset means that she plays quite differently, and that does affect the level design. Or flip the rain, that works too. Alright, Fire. I forgot. Well, I didn't forget, I didn't play the game. What am I saying? Also, could use a checkpoint here, unless I missed it. Eee! What is this level design? Well, I know what this level design is, but... I think my biggest problem now is where was the checkpoint? After having been through, why do we have spikes like that down there? It looks like something is, I don't have so much of a problem with how many... My main problem with this stage isn't so much... Okay, my current biggest problem with the stage isn't so much the number of spikes themselves, it's the lack of checkpointing. Like, the stage can be difficult, sure, and this is one of them, but it's really punishing in the sense that if you die, and it's not that easy to not die, it's fairly easy to die in quite a few spots, you're sent quite a ways back. That's what makes it annoying to me. Like, this really should have had at least 2 more checkpoints in between this and the previous one. Because otherwise the state itself is, I hate to use some of the harsher words, kind of bleh. It doesn't force me to talk about it because it does have challenges that I do need to pay attention to. But I don't know. .4, 1.5-ish. Okay, maybe... wait. Let me just download the level and let me see if I just missed the checkpoint. That could have happened while I was a bit busy with other things. But let's check. Thank you, Vinny. Okay, checkpoint was... First checkpoint was here. Flipping the rain would do wonders for these jumps. Afterwards, these jumps are also scary, but I'm more willing to accept those. Yeah, there was a checkpoint here. It's fine. Okay. What I would recommend doing is adding 1 more checkpoint, maybe? Otherwise, yeah, that alleviates some of my concerns. Like, I completely overlooked it because I was worried about the other things. Yeah. Okay, maybe you don't need to put another checkpoint, but because this last section isn't so scary now that I know this is here. So yeah, I kind of retract my concerns. Alright, I'll be right back in a moment and have my short Sonic discussion. And we're back. Before continuing, if you're on the server and you want to influence what game you'll see tomorrow, please vote on this poll. I know Sylveon has expressed some interest, Sylveon Saber, so feel free to vote. You have about less than 11 hours left. I'm gonna abstain from voting to not influence the results. Anyways, like, we need some tiebreakers for number 3 place. Thank you, and for those who already voted, thank you. Alright, as promised, Sonic discussion. Alright, where were we talking about? Oh yeah, taking inspiration from a source, even if it's regardless of whether it's better or worse. and Jay Butters pointed out Sonic. I laughed because that is very pertinent. I've already covered a few games on the channel that take direct or not so direct inspiration from Sonic. Or direct inspiration from something that took direct inspiration from Sonic. Because let me tell you, there are many places you can take inspiration from the Sonic franchise, or specifically focusing on the Sonic games franchise, because there's so much variety on display there. Much of it is leaves a lot to be desired, I'll put it that way. So there's a lot of jumping off points to build off of. If you want an example of how influential Sonic can be taken in different directions, take a look at the many Sage entries I've covered. Not the direct Sonic fan games, not just those, but also many of the independent or original titles. And thank you for saying the level, Vinisi. Or the various art styles. Hey, I love Demonite. I don't know, I know there was stuff like Spark 1, which was took direct inspiration from Sonic and Kirby. Then we have stuff like Freedom Planet, which I quite liked. Like, it's one of the few, I hate to say few because I cover a variety of games on the channel. It's one of the few quote-unquote games on the channel I play. It's one of the quote-unquote few games I play on the channel, let me correct myself, that I consider to be good. Heck, even Brock. You're right. That is a very pertinent point, J Butters, that I was trying to find the best way to introduce. I'll put it there. Like, many fan game. Like, okay, sure, there's sometimes an expectation on fan games and indie spin-offs, or indie-inspired titles. I'm gonna say indie-inspired instead of indie spin-offs, so I can broaden the discussion a bit. Like, okay, other fandoms do have sometimes the expectation, but I haven't seen the same expectation, at least in the public sphere, maybe, or more general audience sphere, about those fan games, and... sure, Rokan. Feel free to send in and level. But compared to the Sonic inspired games and fan games and what have you, there's much more expectation for them to build off of what didn't quite hit the mark in the inspiration. Which I consider both a good thing and not necessarily a good thing. Like, especially for fan games, See, with fan games, I know I have a lower standard of quality, but that's because it's usually just one to a few people working on a fan. It's one or two of the. But for fan games, I tend to be less harsh than I would for commercial titles, non-freeware commercial titles specifically. Namely because there are usually just one to a few people working out of a labor of love for their respective fandoms. And I respect that. Easier, but not necessarily easy. And like, if people request it, I'll be harsher. Say for example, when I was doing my Let's Try of Mega Man Maverick, I was harsher than I'd usually be on that one. I'll resume playing levels in 2 minutes. Let me finish that. Like, okay, I understand being harsh over titles you're paying for. I'm not gonna hold the same level for... Usually hold the same level for fan games, ROM hacks, and freeware titles. But, especially for indie games, I have noticed that thing about... Yeah, the whole Nintendo, hire this man, or Sega, please hire this man mentality, when in many cases it's not really wise to have that. And then there's the whole thing about, as you know, there's quite a bit of disagreement on what actually is necessarily bad. Sonic fandom, especially years ago, was infamous about that disagreeing of what didn't quite work or was bad. Again, I like the energy about pushing people to be better, to strive to be better. At the same time, that can become toxic. Like, these games should not be made as a competition, especially in the free sectors. They shouldn't be made to be spiteful against the main companies. You can make jokes and riff on them a lot, but you shouldn't do it out of pure spite. Oh, I remember them, the multiple Dark Ages. Like, there was many good reasons why the Sonic fandom was infamous for the many disagreements. The quote-unquote, I'm saying with 10 air quotes surrounding it, disagreements and drama, and 10 quotes. That has happened in the past years. It has calmed down over time as people have thankfully matured. Enough people, I want to clarify. So, yeah, it still happens, but not to the same degree. Of course, part of that is because the less experienced and or less mature people have moved on to other pastures. Encouragement's good, but forcing, making people feel like they have to take on the giants, especially those who have way more budget and supposedly expertise and manpower, yeah, that is dumb. That's why I always laud the teams that actually manage to go the distance and actually manage to beat the giants in some way or another. Yeah, corporations are not your friend, and hopefully not your family. I get where this man mentality came from an honest desire at first, but yeah, it became kind of toxic and then became the butt of many hilarious jokes and some great songs. Sonic is our passion. Yeah, Sylv. If there's one fandom that's so passionate about the games, even if they don't really hit the mark most of the time, it's that fandom. Like, way more than Mario, because Mario games for the most part are good. or consistently to hit the mark. Perhaps. Like, sure, I see a lot of passion of the Mario fans. I am going to be pretty expansive when I say Mario here. But from Sonic, I see a lot. It's also due to the circles I frequent. More passion there. Yeah, pretty much, Buster. Yeah, it runs the gamut. Like, the way it's the trying to find the right way to say this. The breadth and quality and expectations in Sonic games just runs the gambit way more. And there's way more stuff to make fun of and pull from. Nintendo. Oh yeah, and before I continue, there is one question from Buster I forgot to actually answer in the mix of things. Let's see. Okay, Buster asked earlier, actually, Eater, how much of a percentage ballpark of the games you play on the channel would you consider to be bad? Let's take a look-sees. I'm gonna check my excuse me. Let me take a quick look-sees over my game catalog here. First and foremost, outside of certain April Fools, I tend to avoid covering outright bad games on the channel. So, for outright bad games, it's like maybe 5% at most. But subpar titles, just above bad, but not really okay. If you're asking me for subpar titles, that'd be more like, I'm gonna overestimate here, 15 or 20%. Okay, 15%. As for okay games, I'm doing ballparks. Oh, don't worry. I may make a lot of jokes about games, but I tend to avoid doing sludge because there are other channels which are more geared towards doing absolute trash. Like, there were accidents before, but they tend to be either very short, deliberate jokes, or one-offs. There is... Like, the absolute... There was one absolutely bad Mega Man fan game I played, you know, Rockman R1. But mercifully, no fan game has gotten close to it that I've covered on the channel or streamed. And for ROM hacks, well, save states. CalEdit was... But CalEdit was somewhat close, but the thing with CalEdit is that it was mainly boring. Like, it had frustrating spots, but... With Rockman R, the problem was every stage was frustrating in some way. With CalEdit, not all the stages were that. Like, maybe half, only a few spots. Also, the Fortress stage there did not just raise my ire. And Rockman R also has the dubious honor of having one of the worst Wily Tree stages I've seen in a Mega Man fan game. And we make jokes about how Wily Tree tends to be one of the not as good ones. I know, Jaden, I'll move on in a moment. And I know I owe it to Rokan to get to the level. Okay, let's see. Okay titles. As for okay titles, 30-35%. Okay, 30% maybe. Decent, 20-25%. After we get to that, like, the actual good titles I cover on the channel, I'm gonna combine it with almost good. That'd be like 10-15%. And remember, I'm not one of those reviewers who just uses the 4-point scale. I go all the way down from bad to amazing. It's just that I kind of have... although I try to be nice, my upper scale tends to be a bit harsher. No worries, Rokan. Now, because you're here and I made you wait quite a bit longer than expected, I'm covering your level now. Jaden, this isn't that vitriolic yet. We're not at that point, we're just jesting a lot. But yeah, that's my discussion. Let's do it. Let's actually play some Mega Man Maker. Thanks for attending my TED Talk. 7th up is Re-Bomb Man version 2 by More Kitten. 25 play, score of 2. Oh, okay, part of a series of levels where it's sort of a reimagining of Mega Man 1. I gotta play a Mega Man again eventually. And also, to respond to more Jaden, again, we haven't reached that point where it's too vitriolic. I'm saying this as speaking as the admin to a mod. Lay off a bit, please. I understand being worried about the discussion becoming too toxic, but it's not there yet. Hang on, Big okay, Big Tally. Oh yeah, about the sweatshops. I saw that one. But, well, I saw a summary of that one, I think. But yeah. Devil May Cry 2 Let's Play. I'm interested in playing the original Devil May Cry because... well, okay. I'm interested in covering the original Devil May Cry and DMC4 because I want to cover Alter Kill in the future. But, I'm really curious to see why 2 is so not as well regarded. Best quote of the stream goes to J Butters. Okay, we suddenly gone from Cutman stage to futuristic Cutman stage. I'm now imagining Cutman being mixed together with Nitro Man. Oh, flashbacks to Giant Fire Telly. It kind of feels like we traveled into the future. Excuse me, Bomb Man. Sorry, this is the meme of Cut Man everywhere that I just keep referring back to it. So we've gone from to a futuristic Bomb Man stage. Like, if that was the intention, good job. Oh shoot! Hang on. The way it is right now, it kind of feels like a... Oh shoot, is there a time limit? That's not the original weakness. Well, if I use the original weakness, it may cause problems. Let me put it this way, Rokan. With the way the stage shifts from Bombman's regular aesthetics to the futuristic environment, the stage feels kind of disconnected, as not only does the environment change, but so do most of the central gimmicks. So it just feels like we just got transported into another stage, or another timeline. If we started the stage directly in the futuristic city, I wouldn't have this complaint. And I kinda echo Buster's point that this doesn't feel like a cohesive stage. Not bad, but even compared to the rompy stages we've seen in this episode, like Jedok or Terrazaman's, they feel more like they're part of the same stage. When I say it's the stage cohesion, what I'm saying is the stage feels like it has some sort of focus. This felt kind of... I know what you're trying to do here, but the focus doesn't seem to be quite up to snuff. Alright, to Jaden's point. Yeah? The Simpsons made a lot of jokes about that. Your family here, and you'll never escape. Not actually how to say the joke, but... Nonetheless, thank you for sending it. Alright. 8 up is Pac-Man Maze Target by Oscar. 77 plays and a score of 33. Oh yeah, Buster, I keep forgetting to ask you about this. But for Fireboy and Watergirl, do you want me to cover the original Flash game version or the HTML5 version? Okay, showing how it works. Don't forget, you're here forever. That's the other joke. Hi, Clyde. Okay, just wanted to know because, okay, I just wanted to set that down because I know sometimes when games are ported, things are lost. I played the Flash one when I was younger too, so okay. I'll stream the HTML5 version. Rest of the games will have to. Rest of the games I'll use Flashpoint. I'm just spamming the plug ball and it works. I don't think this is the way the stage was intended to be played. Okay, some extra challenge now. I get trying to time the shock balls, but the challenges aren't really built around that as much. Okay, they somewhat are, but they're really easy to break by just spamming. You can ignore the timing aspects by just randomly spamming and it works. Maybe if there was an ammo limit. Heck. Oh look! One that's even easier to use. Can't read that. I get the main conceit at the stage. The problem is it's not really built for... Okay, like... If we had more stuff like this in the early rooms, I'd be a lot more happy. But the problem with most of the challenges here is that one of the easiest and optimal ways to deal with them is to just spam. And you'll be able to get through fairly straightforwardly. It's not like there's an ammo or time limit or whatever. And they just made it even less interesting by switching over to Scramble Thunder, which has less restrictions than the Plug Ball in terms of how difficult it is to use. Again, you can also build a challenge based out of the Scramble Thunder, and Oscar's sort of doing that. The ghosts. Like, if you wanted to be more like Pac-Man, why not have the ghost try chasing the player? Or an equivalent. So much for the mid-boss fight. Like, okay, sometimes this stuff is interesting, sure, but this really should have been like in the first act. And meanwhile, we're in act number 3 of the stage, when we really should be having more elaborate challenges. Like, why don't we have a puzzle? Why don't we have something like a timing challenge where we ourselves have to change the switch configurations, like the on and off buttons, and then time it that way? Something to make this less, you know. But I've said my piece. Even if it doesn't really change that much of the actual stage itself, if you had Wanans, that'd actually be a little bit clever because now it forces players to keep moving. And if you want to stop players from just jumping over the Wanans, just make the just reduce the height of the ceiling. Lower the ceiling. Or if you want to take it further, do what Jay Butters did. It's an amazing concept for a puzzle level, sure, and I have seen some other levels play around with the timings of the Plug Ball, Scramble Thunder, Or even Surge Snake or any weapon that follows the terrain, like in a line. This, sadly, isn't one of them. Ooh, the Galaxian. It ties back into the common issue I have with most, if not all, of Oscar's arcade stages. They fall into one of two categories, and yeah, they overlap when I say two. The first category is stages that are directly ported to arcade without taking into consideration Mega Man's different movesets and abilities. The second is where they kind of do it, but they just repeat the same challenges over and over without without exploring the main mechanics. So when they really could have, but end up just being on the simpler side. This is the second category, I'm afraid. There are a lot of fun ways to explore the Plug Ball and Scramble Thunder, but unfortunately this stage just elects to just play it simply and doesn't really iterate more on the mechanics, and just has more iterations of the same things. Now this is a little bit interesting because now it forces me to use both, because otherwise the Scramble Thunder will not reach. Yeah, at least you could try making these challenges harder and a little bit more varied. Like, that room was cool. Now we are actually forced to use two different weapons. But again, Act 2. And here's the thing, if you don't have as many ideas on these areas, my suggestion then is to just shorten the stage. Like, I'm okay with playing like 2-minute or 3-minute long stages. Like, if it's too difficult to figure out the ideas of what to do next, just end the stage. Got it. Hey Burning 6, welcome. Your stage was my favorite level of the episode. Good job. There is but I want to say this at the same time because I know I'm being quite critical on this level. There is a community for this sort of stage. There is an audience for this. I'm just not part of that audience. That's why this got so many upvotes. I get why many of these are identical to Pac-Man mazes, but you know what, I'm not gonna say it anymore because I already said everything I had to say about this stage. Let's get this done. Yeah, I don't mind the ideas are based on arcade games versus platformers. I just feel like you could do a better job of adapting it into Mega Man Maker. Oh look! In the actual maze where you need to defeat everyone. I get why there's all these life pickups, but you know, if this was a fan game, you could just force it to where you have to collect all these pickups. That could be actually interesting. Like, I get the Act 1 being the way it is, but this really should have been like the Act 2 boss, whatever. I know I said I was going to talk a little bit less about the stage, but there's one last thing I do need to talk about. Like how I would restructure the stage. Yeah, I know. I'm getting off my a chair and saying, okay, this is how I would make the stage. I know that could be annoying. Okay, the way the stage is designed right now, it really could benefit with some compression. Like the way the stage is currently, it's 3 acts when it could easily be just 2. The stage can start out about the same ways to get you used to the plug ball, But then, right, shorten Act 1 so the plug ball only section is like 2 or 3 screens at most. Then introduce the Scramble Thunder and have the next 2 or 3 screens like that. Then have the mid-boss against the Boo Beams. Then introduce the sections with the Act 2 would then start where you have all those Spinies and maybe one ends later, and you have to time your shots better. Then, at the second half of Act 2, introduce the part where you have to use both the Plug Ball and the Scramble Thunder to destroy those targets. And then end the maze, and then end the stage in that giant maze. But instead of having it where it's easy to get the Yashishis, take away the player's weapons, or set the player's weapons down to 0 energy, and force them to collect the pellets so they can recharge it. Or, if you want to put it this way, replace the pellets with mini targets that you have to break in order to open up gates which then grant you access to the weapons. Make it so that it's not so as trivial to defeat the bosses, as right now it just feels like a little bit of a bigger version of the mid-boss fight, which is fine, but I know this could be better. Oof. Sorry to hear that, Coffee. I'm being I'm being harsher here on you, Oscar, and I apologize for that. I'm being harsher here because this stage suffers from many of the same issues many of your previous stages have. It's like a common design deficiency in my eyes I've noticed throughout your levels. Like, it's the same problem or concern that's been carried over. I don't criticize as much, for example, with Sunflower or Genox 74, because Genox levels are relatively well-rounded. With Sunflora, when their stages have issues, it's a different issue. And they tend to be relatively well-rounded. Yeah, J Butters, impressed. And yeah, for the future stages by Oscar, if this continues to happen, I'll continue to make the same notes. But I would upvote this if this was half the length. Yeah, and Toxin is good 90 to 95% of the time. They did make 1 or 2 stinkers, but I understand that can happen. Okay, I'll be right back in 1 moment. Alrighty, I have returned. Yeah, Jaden. The patios, the levels have a different set of issues, but there's a common through line for what you criticize. That's the point, Oscar. When your stages have issues, they tend to be around the same thing. With the patio, it tends to be weird difficulty balancing and too unfair Kaizo stuff. With your stuff, Oscar, the issue is when you adapt the arcade games, or similar, you just directly adapt it without understanding what makes them fun in Maker. That's what I'm trying to say, Oscar. You base it on other games and media, but you don't really adapt it to Maker in such a way that it's fun. You're similar in the sense that you have shortcomings, or common shortcomings that run through most of your stages. The difference is what those shortcomings are. I'm putting this out there for an educational sake. The reason why I don't talk about it as much, for example, with Loyal, Burning Sticks, Sunflora, Jethawk, Buster, J Butters, Omega Light, or the many of the other level designers is A, I don't really cover as many levels, and B, when their stages have deficiencies, they tend to be either different per stage, or B, their stages are relatively well-rounded, or C, and this sort of is B, their stages have so many deficiencies that I can't really just name one. When I say deficiencies, I shouldn't really say that. I'm gonna say, weak points. That's better. But to be fair, it could also be different audiences. Like, you clearly have at least 30 people in the previous stage who get upvoted your stage, so there's that. Okay, weak points or flaws, that works. With New Nuclear Stomp, you experiment a lot with your stages, so I can't really pinpoint one or two flaws that are a true line. So there's that. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to adapt stages from one medium into Maker, or the other way around. I just feel like I'm making all these criticisms because I know you can do better. Oh, J Modders. Your stages were interesting. Was it 2 or 3 stages I covered? I kind of forget. How many? Yeah, just 2 stages. There was Russian Rock, and then you stopped after Dashing Up Walls classic style. That was a fun stage, but oh my gosh, was it punishing. I'm just saying that, sure, some people may enjoy it. Some people may enjoy your stages, but I'm saying that with some more tweaking and polishing up and more effort, more people will be able to enjoy it. But yeah, that's my second TED Talk. I feel like I've been stacking too much against you. It's not just for you, it's for others too. So yeah, let's move on to the stage. 9th up is Festival, Draco Man, Moltanic Castle by Omega Light. 7th place, score -3. I take an extra time here because this has been building for months. In the future, I'm gonna shorten this significantly. You didn't cause any trouble, Oscar. You're not getting in trouble for any rule violations, whatever. I'm just pointing out things I've observed over the years. But no more of that, please, for now. Let's go back to Maker and discussing other off-topic things at the same time. We already fulfilled our Sonic quota for today. The second discussion, what's next? I could have rushed forward here. Oh yeah, reminder. Tonight will be the continuation of Twilight Monk. I wasn't able to do the backtracking off screen, so I'll do it on stream. I may or may not be able to beat this game on stream today, Jaden, and everyone else interested. We'll see. I don't know how long the final area is going to take. Or the final boss. And then tomorrow morning is going to be the web game stream. Fireboy and Water Girl, Robot Wants Puppy, and something else. Oh yeah, after the stream sometime, let's try testing Parsec. You may want to get your... Okay, to Buster, I advise that you set up your account while I watch the stream. Oh my gosh. I'd advise setting up the account and looking over the security settings first. What Sylph said, time to go back to Sonic lore. There's no escape. You lost the game. Pokélore. Something I don't know as much about. Because most of my knowledge comes really from the anime. And that already makes very different differences. Oh. I'm asking you to prepare the Parsec in advance, especially the client settings, as there's quite a few of them. And yes, I'm going to be streaming at 480p or 720p because I don't know how good your bitrate is. I don't know how good your bandwidth's going to be, Buster, especially when you're halfway across the world. Oh shoot. Should have been slower. I'm playing hard mode after all. Yeah, that's good. I think I should have taken roll instead. This is starting to become a problem. But yeah, Pokélore. What is your favorite bit of Pokélore, Sylph? I know, it can be like choosing your favorite children. So just pick one. Okay, at least there's a full refill here. Oh, of course, now you decide to drop that. Paradox, Mons, and Ultra Beasts. Well, the good thing is Protos Buster makes it easier to deal with the blockies. Again, Jaden, I don't like it when people just hoard entire conversations. I like having multiple speakers. What else? One sec, I'm trying to check one thing. It all started with Bill inventing a time machine to send items back in time. Didn't you get turned into a Clefairy or Clefable? Or was that someone else? Oh, joy. Of course, this time I take no damage. Oh my gosh, this actually makes Spider-Man go way faster. GG. Or is it? Okay. Suddenly grassy field out wherever. Okay, Draco Man, I can totally understand why this got a negative score because, that section over there with the nitro droppers and next to the magma generators, that is a little bit punishing. That is punishing if you don't play as a role, because you can't reach and it's difficult to dodge on those tin pillars. And you're right next to lava, so if you get knocked in, you're dead. Mega Man may have the charge shot to deal with it, but Proto Man, of course, has the worst luck of the draw. Double damage plus his buster doesn't reach. I think it's because of that section why I got a negative score. Me though, I thought the stage was fine. It could push more heavily with its gimmicks, but I think it's more of a win than a loss. I don't know if it was a mistranslation, J Butters, but again, it's a folktale. There are plenty of horrifying folktales in many different cultures. And frankly, not even the most horrifying one. And besides, in a world as funky and bizarre as the Pokemon universe, that is not the most horrifying thing I could think of. Besides, if you want to see more horrifying stories, or rather horrific backstories and WTF, geez, this is dark, read the Pokemon Adventures manga. I mean, my queue is currently empty, so sure, you can stand in one stage. Oh yeah, Nuclear. I didn't actually cover your stage yet, so let's do it now. I know this is more of a joke stage, but let's do it. 10th up is Mega Man 2 Quick Man, but it's reversed and upside down and inaccurate by Nuclear Stomp. 60 plays and a score of... I got cut off, didn't I? Score of 14. Of course. Help. Let's actually use his weakness. This is actually harder because the ceiling's lower. Alright, we're out of here. Oh, thank you for the Ishishi. Oh no. Why do we have 1 HP? Oh, nah, I'm gonna save that joke for that eventual LP, sorry. I'm not making that joke here. There's your answer, Sylph. I mean, there's our answer. Okay, that's it. Oh gosh, this is way harder now. Strength shot. Like, I don't recall... When I play Quick Man stage, I don't recall ever having 1 HP here. Yeah, I jumped too late. And we haven't even reached the force beams yet, by the way. Yes, I know the way to make this easier. There's gonna be another one. Like, if these are replacing the hotheads... No? Okay. I thought I was gonna be jump scared by one, but eh. Huh? Huh? What? Okay, can I do this without the time stopper? Yes. You just need to hug the wall. Oh shoot, I'm dead. Well, it was nice knowing you. What? Yeah, it's weird, like it's really tight. You basically need to hug the left wall in order to get there. Oh, but let go, let go. Don't let go. Hang on, hang on. This is the better time stopper anyway, so I can do that. Oh, oh, hi, hotheads. Well, if the stage is in reverse, if this stage is literally in reverse, this should have a reverse difficulty curve too. Wait, hang on, hang on. Eee. Ow. Like, if this was like classic Mega Man 2, the time stopper trick would be a lot less doable. Oh wait, I'll get to your point, Buster. Let me just finish this. Oh gosh. Oh, pfft. 6 HP. F this, I'm not dealing with you. Okay, well, that's cool. That's cool, Jaden. Nice to hear they like your designs. Okay, nice weapon instead of reading up the crash bomb sound. What do you think of the fancy looking items that Mega Man 2 has over Mega Man 3 and 6? I think the ones following them look better, even if they're simpler. But that's just me. It's more personal preference, but again... Okay, Quick Man again. This time with the correct arena. I'm gonna say this. I think that the main reason why I like the ones from Beyond Two More is more because I'm more used to them, because pretty much all the games use those designs. If the games decide to just use the ones from 1 and 2 onwards, then I probably prefer those over those. Like, 2 is definitely more advanced. 1 and 2's. Wait. I can... Actually, that's a good thing, isn't it? Because then I can force him to stay in place. Oh, he really doesn't like the air shooter. Oh, let's finish him off. Or not. Looks like he's learned from the last time. But instead, traded over for this weakness. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the concept art, I prefer Mega Man 1 and 2's items over 3 and onwards, sure. But sprite-wise, it's... I don't know. It's gonna... My criticism for this stage is gonna sound a bit weird, but... the difficulty curve doesn't feel reversed enough. Like, okay, I complain about an inconsistent difficulty curve or reverse difficulty curve usually, but this stage is deliberately being kind of scrap posty, so of course it's a joke. So I expected the stage to have an inverse difficulty curve, but it felt kind of unstable. I don't know. It feels like it could be refined a bit so that the ending could be... Yeah, when I say unstable, it starts out backwards, sure, but then it gets weird. Like, the first laser section is much harder than the second, but then it feels like the difficulty laser sections get rearranged. I don't know. Oh man, when I eventually do my Mega Man game tier list, I'm gonna have some spicy takes. Real spicy takes, don't worry. 7 I have pretty fond memories of, and I've been going back and forth with what I consider like a B grade or C grade. I don't know. Oh, 2 is not gonna be at the bottom. I have to phrase that because when I say Mega Man games, I'm not just talking about Mega Man Classic, I'm also counting... I'm pretty much counting every single Mega Man game. So, Classic X, Zero, ZX, Legends, the Battle Network. If I was just rating Mega Man Classic games, then, well, you'll see. Because Mega Man Classic also extends a wide breadth of things. Because if I were to literally do just Mega Man Classic, the bottom tier game would be probably either Mega Man DOS or Mega Man for the Game Gear. We'll get to that. But again, we'll get to that. And then you can all laugh at my bad opinions. Neat. See, did you send another level in, Okay, you didn't, but I'll just pick one randomly. You're a newcomer, Rokan, so I'll just be nice and play one more stage by you, then finish off. Not that one. Okay. So, the 11th and final level of the stream is Re-Elect Man by More Kitten. 66 plays, score of 18. I mean... Oh yeah, after the stream buster, please don't leave. We need to test Parsec a bit. I'm gonna lean towards doing the HTML5 version of Fireboy and Water Girl. Gosh, I keep almost wanting to say Shark Boy and Lava Girl instead. I'm sorry. My brain has been too meme poisoned. That's certainly a camera transition. I mean, it works, it's just, Welcome back to Shark Lava and Boy Girl the game. I'd still play that. Mr. Electric, send them to the principal office to be expelled! See you around, Jaden. I'll see you for the evening stream, hopefully. Mr. Electric, sentence him to death. Darn it, I was trying to clip there. Alright. Okay. Mr. Electric, send him to Barrel Canyon. Oh no. That could have killed me if I wasn't careful. Doesn't this look awfully different? And for nothing. Well, we don't have a Lekman, so you'll do. Sorry, there's no escape today. Hey, you kept the original weakness. Nice. Alrighty then. I think we've seen that's a good enough way to end it. I like this more than Rebomb Man, but it's still eh. At least it felt like we're in the same stage now. So overall, of the 11 levels I covered in today's morning stream, my favorite one would definitely be Rocket Bass or Rocket Base 2 by Burning Sticks, or Top Vet. Good job. And thank you to everyone else who submitted your level to me today. It's really appreciated. So, before we finish off, as always, art showcase. But before that, remember, if you haven't voted yet, please vote. Poll will close in about 10 hours from now. Anyways, art showcase time. Nice. Oh, DJ sent it. Or an IP master, whatever. Sorry. Mock up a Maverick's stage start. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like it. And thus, this concludes the art showcase and subsequently the stream. Thank you to everyone who either submitted their levels, their art, or simply participated in chat. It's due to your continued support why I continue to produce new content for the channel. It's really appreciated. So, if you're enjoying this or any other piece of content on the channel, please rate, comment, favorite, and or subscribe, as they all help it out. Don't forget to follow me on Blue Sky and Mastodon as well, and join my Discord server, as I regularly post updates there. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the future.